What is up, guys? It's your host, Justin Buzzi, back at it again with another episode of the Building a Buzz podcast. I am so sorry that I have not released another episode since our last one in a quicker time frame. I have been just super busy since the beginning of 2020. I've told a couple of my close friends and my girlfriend that this has really been the busiest that I have ever been since I quit my full-time job back in 2017. So just over 2 years ago, I quit that full-time job because it was the end of 2017 and we just finished the end of 2019. And ever since, I've been making a lot of moves and getting the company ready to expand and all of that, but right now has really just been the busiest that I have been since I made that move. A lot of that is attributed to we're opening up a new kayaking location. I don't know if I can announce where yet because we haven't announced it on our socials and I don't want to give it away, but we do have a new location opening up somewhere in the South Florida region, and hopefully that will be open by the end of February. Beyond that, we're opening up another location, hopefully sometime in March. And then we're really pushing for a third location to open sometime maybe April or May, right before the summertime. So I've just been super busy on the back end trying to put all the pieces together, make sure that everyone is taking the right steps to get these opened, and really just have been putting a lot of time and effort into that. I've done a coaching session at UCF. I'm trying to figure out different ways that we can get involved with some organizations and giving back. Trying to figure out travel plans. I'm going to Canada next week, then coming back and then going to Vegas and then coming back. And then I don't even know. We're going all over the place this year and we're doing as much as we can. So it's been really cool, super busy, but that's kind of where I have been the last couple weeks. But this week I wanted to talk about something super important, and it is major marketing moves for 2020. There's a lot of really cool things going on in the marketing world, and I think it's important to at least take a quick look at a few important trends that I think we'll see continue to grow in 2020. So if you're looking to take your marketing to the next level, hopefully you'll get some value out of this episode. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So like I said, I wanted to quickly chat about things that I've seen going on in marketing that I think could help you grow your brand or grow your business. There's a few things that we use personally for like Get Up and Go kayaking, and in talking to some of my friends that own brands and companies, things that they use as well. And a few things really that I think we should all start considering to use more of and figure out more ingenious ways to use them as well. So the first one, and it's kind of funny, especially for people that have never used it and don't really understand it. But the first big one is actually using TikTok. We started one with Get Up and Go kayaking, and within the first week of using it, we actually had a viral video. I say viral, it had over 50,000 views just for that Get Up and Go kayaking page. So really cool to see that the organic reach on TikTok is there, and it's not just for the younger generation that's doing dances. I know that's a huge part of it, but there are different ways to include your company in on some of these viral videos. You guys just want to try and make it as fun as you can. And, you know, the way that TikTok works is very organic. So if you have like a fun, interesting video, something that's quick, it can really do well on TikTok organically. And you can really start to grow a following there. And so just make sure you're trying to have as much fun with it as you can, which I think will kind of correlate into some of these other things that we're using as well. But definitely try TikTok out. On my personal TikTok page, I used a video of my girlfriend's brother that he took of a child stepping on a crack and breaking his mother's back, as the saying goes. And it got millions of views on TikTok. So it's just been like a crazy place for me to kind of experiment with. But I heard Gary Vee talking about it a lot, and it's definitely something that you should at least try out, use, figure out if you like it, figure out if it's for you. Just play around with it for a while, and I think you will start to see there is definitely some value in TikTok. So don't overlook TikTok in 2020. I know Vine is trying to make a comeback with Byte, B-Y-T-E, their app. So check that out as well. But I think TikTok is really where a lot of eyeballs are right now, and there's a lot of growth going on in there. And like I said, with those fun videos, you should really consider doing more fun videos with Instagram, with your social media in general. I think we all get really caught up in doing these super professional videos, with this great imagery and all of this stuff, but we forget to realize that, oftentimes people are just looking for something that makes their day a little bit more exciting or a little bit happier, whatever it may be. So consider doing videos, that can go across these different platforms and that lead to the emotional response of happiness. It doesn't always have to be super informational about your company. Just make it fun and show some behind the scenes. Don't be afraid to show your dirty desk if you're, working from home at your desk every day. Don't be afraid to show some of the behind the scenes things that goes on in order for you guys to put out the product or put out your service that you're doing. I think a lot of people can connect with that, and that really resonates with a lot of people. And I think beyond that, you need to really consider sharing stories about the people that are in your business or in your company or in your brand or whatever it may be. People really seem to connect with this, one-on-one sense of dealing with people. And I think Airbnb experiences has really made me realize that. On there, if you guys don't know, you can host an experience. You're allowed to host an experience for up to 10 different people at a time. So we host our Get Up and Go kayaking experience on there. And the cool thing about it is that it really highlights who the host is. So for my example, I would be the host. I can tell a little bit about myself. People already know who I am before they even arrive to one of our locations. So I think this is just a really cool way for people to get some of that behind the scenes right off the bat and already feel this connection before they're even making their decision to come out. So consider that. Consider, making some short videos about you or about your employees or whoever it is that maybe helps out with your business, and share that. I think it's super important that people know who's putting all this effort into what it is that you have going on. And beyond that, I think that kind of leads to being transparent with customers. I deal with so many different vendors and organizations that just do not show transparency with what they have going on. And it makes things really confusing when I'm, going through the purchasing process or trying to figure out logistics of something or just dealing with their customer support team. Like if they're not transparent about what's going on, maybe a downfall of something that's happened, like it just makes things so much more confusing. So first and foremost, be super transparent with your customers and the people that are interacting with you and buying from you. And, coming from the music world, this is a big one because so many people use the fake it to make it mentality when they, want to show off what they have or, whatever it is that it may be that makes them look like they're much further than maybe they are. I think a lot of people see right through that. And you need to focus on being more transparent with people, whether it's on the phone, whether it's, in a message, whatever it may be, just be transparent, be open about it. And I think that'll really resonate with people. Again, that kind of leads back to the connection part of this. People want to feel that connection, and this is one of those ways that you can help them feel that connection. So be transparent, share those stories about you, and try these different outlets. Make things fun for your following. I think that's what's really, really important here. The next big one is Instagram, influencers, and collaboration. A lot of people, it's gotten to the point where these influencers or bloggers or whatever you want to call them seem like, they deserve a lot of money for, posting one picture or one story about you. If you don't have that kind of money to fork over for that big of an influencer, or maybe it's a smaller influencer that thinks that they're, at this huge level, then just don't put your time and effort into that. There's so many more out there that maybe would love your product or love your service, and you wouldn't even have to pay them at all, and they would be super willing to share it with their friends, their followers, their family, all of that stuff. So I think collaboration is going to be a really, really big topic in 2020. And you just have to do your research. A lot of people think that influencers should come to you and should want your product and want to do your service. And yeah, I agree that would be great, but that's not how it works all the time. And you really have to put yourself out there sometimes and, be willing to share a free product with someone or a free service with someone. And I'll give you guys a quick example with Heather from the previous season of The Bachelor. I just search the Orlando location tag once in a while on Instagram to see the top posts in Orlando, and it'll always show you the recent top posts. So I went on there, I saw that she was in Orlando with her sisters, and all I did was comment on her picture saying, hey, if you're still in Orlando and you would like to come clear kayaking, hit us up. We'd love to have you. And so I didn't make it any sort of way. I didn't, make it businessy. I just said, if you're here and you want to do this, we're here for you and we'd love to have you. And I think that really resonates with these people too. So she reached out in a message saying, hey, I would love to come out. What do you guys have available? So we actually got her out the next day after commenting that on her Instagram. And then she came out. I didn't give her any requirements about posting anything. I just said, hey, come have a fun time with your sisters, knowing that I could wow them with our experience. And the hope is, it's a cool enough thing that they will go back and then post about it. But I didn't have any upfront, barricades of having her come and try out our service. And I think that really helped. And I think that is something that we can all kind of take a little bit from and try in our own businesses, whatever it may be. Try collaborating with different people, see what works, see what doesn't work. There's going to be times where you feel like you went way above and beyond and you just didn't get that in return. And that's okay. It's going to happen. But just don't work with that person again. You'll kind of have to feel it out and see what their engagement level is, with whatever you have going on, and really kind of filter them out that way and see what makes sense for you. And don't overextend yourself. Just, make sure you're doing what you do on a daily basis, which should already be going above and beyond for your customers. So, don't be afraid to reach out to influencers. Try making it more fun than businessy, and I think you'll get a good response from that, especially if you have something cool to do or something cool to offer. I think that'll be a really good way to help boost your marketing in 2020. One of the other big things that I personally am working on is 360 video. I think this is going to be something that could be really cool in the coming future. I'm sure most of you or some of you have seen those videos on Facebook or even on YouTube where you can pick your phone up and kind of turn your whole body around and it'll show you the whole video or the whole panoramic picture as you're turning, as if you're looking at it in real life. So I think 360 video and 360 pictures like that are going to be a really cool way to show off whatever it is that you have going on. So consider different ways to use that. There's so many different industries, so I'm not going to go into specifics of how I think it should be done. But for us personally, I think it's really cool to show off the whole 360 view of a kayaking location that we have, because that's ultimately what you're getting with the clear kayaks is not only the view above the water, but also under the water. So I think that 360 is really going to help people feel like they're there and give them a sense of what it is like to be there and want them to be there. So try 360 video. I use the Insta360X. I just ordered the R as well. So I'm really curious to see how that works, but I do really like how they use their 360 software and the actual camera itself. So check that out if you guys haven't. And then one of the last big things that I'm going to touch on is different ways to use Facebook. This is a big one for me. I see it happen and not happen all the time. And I'm always curious why it does happen and why it doesn't happen. But Facebook events is always like this space that seems to do really, really well for most people when it's done right. Facebook events knows. So for example, if I were to say that I'm interested in someone's Facebook event in Orlando, and then maybe one of my friends is also interested in it, and a third friend of ours, a mutual friend, that same Facebook event will show up on their feed saying, hey, 2 of your friends are interested in this event, for you spending $0 on marketing that event. So it's really cool. Facebook wants more people to like events and to be a part of events and feel more connected that way. I think Facebook is really wanting to host more events in the Facebook world. So look into Facebook events if you guys haven't. I promise you, it is really cool how they've got that algorithm to work. For one of our kayaking events down in Fort Pierce, we did a full moon glow in the dark tour, and we put $0 behind it, and it reached over 40,000 people. And so it was insane, the amount of shares. 1,000 people said that they were going to this event. And mind you, we only have 10 spots on our kayak tour. So the kayak tour filled up completely, but yet there was still 1,000 people that said they wanted to go to this event. And the really cool thing about that is that now you have their data that you can market back to these people that have interacted with your Facebook event. So there's really cool ways to utilize Facebook events and then to retarget back to these people that are already interested in whatever event it is that you have going on. And keep in mind here, it doesn't have to be a big, huge event that you have going on. If you are releasing a new song, you could make a Facebook event. If you are, hosting something at your place of business, and it doesn't have to be a huge event. It could just be a sale that you have going on. There's so many different ways that you can use Facebook events that I think could be to your benefit in 2020. So don't overlook Facebook events. And the last big one that I'm going to touch on is Facebook groups. This has been on my radar for a while. I've heard many people talking about it, and I really encourage you to at least go follow some groups that you might be interested in, whether it's marketing, whether it's, anything. If you're in the outdoor space, I follow tours and activities worldwide. So you can find something in the space that you're in. I know you can. Just go look on Facebook in their group section and just join a group and kind of see how it works and start interacting with people. The more that you interact and give your input for free and don't ask for anything back, you don't want to go into these groups and start promoting whatever it is that you have, because you'll probably just get kicked out. But if you just go in there and communicate with people and conversate and offer, bits of advice from your perspective, you can really start to become a conversation starter in these groups, and people will start coming to you organically for advice, or maybe they're a customer, whatever it is that you have going on. It's a really cool way to get involved. And further, if you think that you could create your own group for whatever kind of following it is that you have, this could be a really great way for you to communicate new sales, just talking to your customers, asking about a product or service, or connecting your customers with each other. Whatever it is, I definitely think that Facebook groups is a good way to help strengthen your brand and provide value to more people. So look for those events and those groups that you could be a part of insert yourself into those groups and make yourself known just by commenting on people's, statuses or updates that they have in their group there. And I think you'll get some really good feedback, especially if you can make your own group and, figure out the intricacies of running it and growing it and having your new customers go to this group and conversate and meet each other. It's a really cool place for you to grow your following, and in a really unique way where you can be a really big part of that. And I'll give a quick shout out to High Res here. He does a really good job of having a group for his following. So if you're a fan of his, he has a Only for the Fans High Res page, group, I should say, that you can go and be a part of. And he will actually drop songs in there before he actually puts them out on the internet. He'll ask how people's days are going. He really puts in the work on the back end for stuff like that. So I would urge anyone to go and check out Facebook groups. I think it's a really great way to interact with potential customers and past customers or current customers. So ultimately, those are some big things that I see going on in 2020. Starting with TikTok, I think you should download it, scroll through it, see how it works, post some videos, and just see what happens. And make those videos fun. I think the more fun that you make these videos and then you can share them across, to Instagram, I think the better that the feedback is going to be for those videos. And don't forget to share stories about you. People want to know about you. People want to know about what goes on behind the scenes. So don't be afraid to share that kind of stuff. And with that, just be transparent with your customers or your followers. I think, again, this is a really huge one. People love transparency. They love to feel like they know what's going on and they're a part of something. So be transparent with them. Consider collaborating with people on Instagram. Use 360 videos and check out Facebook events and Facebook groups. I think if you do all of these things and try them out, you'd be really surprised at the response that you'll get, and see which one works the best for you. These aren't all going to work for everyone, so kind of see what works the best for you, trial and error, and then just go hard on whatever one of those really is working out the best for you. So those are my super important marketing moves for 2020. I promise to get you guys more episodes than I have in the last couple of weeks. So thanks for sticking around. Again, I'm your host, Justin Buzzi, and this is Building a Buzz Podcast. Peace.